Hi Bessie, in today's video I need to close out my month of November. I have a $4,000 situation that I need to add to my November budget before I close out, and plus I did purchase a few things that I have to take care of, and then I want to start my December monthly budget. So if you're into budgeting, paycheck budget, this video just might be for you. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi, Bestie. So let's go ahead and get into the budget. Hopefully all is well with you. If you're new to my page, welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad that you're here with me today. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Alright, so this is my November monthly spread here where I need to update my spending and then also my no spend for the month of November. But we're going to get into my last paycheck of November before I can close out. So grab your tea, your coffee, wine, or your snack as we walk through my last paycheck budget, close out November, and then I'm going to work on my December budget. Alright, so let me get a color pen since I have to make some adjustments to my last paycheck. Let me find a color. Let me see. I'm trying to see which color I want to use so that whatever adjustments I make to my budget, that it stands out from the white ink. Alright, so this is my Archer Outer. I'm gonna try this yellow ink here. I haven't used these in a while, so I think yellow will stand out. Alright, let's get this pen. So you have to shake and then push these pens. This thing is stiff. Oh my god. Like I said, I haven't used them in so long, so that's dried out, so I don't know. I haven't used the Ultimate Oliver in a while, so let me go to my dual dot markers and pull one of those out then. Maybe I'll try like the pink color, pink or gold. Thing is, I thought I had more than one pink in here, but this looks okay on the black. Alright, so I want to use this one right here. Okay. So, got me another color pen. Bear with me as I adjust. Okay. So, for the last paycheck, so in the month of November here, this is my spreadsheet here where I document or jot down my finances on here. And so, for my, hold up, let me fold this up so you can see the top. So the top part of my spreadsheet is my summary totals at the top. But let's go ahead and get into my income. So right here, I added the $4,000. This $4,000 that's right here, is one of my treasury notes matured. It matured and it matured the middle part of the month, but I wasn't checking my portfolio like that. And so I need to add this to my income. And I'm just absolutely grateful. It's perfect timing for it. So I said to close out the month of November is great that I can go ahead and add it to my last paycheck budget. So I need to update my income with this $4,000. Alright, so I'm going to categorize as invest here. And then I'm going to have to update my totals. Okay, so that is the major thing that I had to update for this month. And it's perfect because I'm going to utilize that money to pay down my credit card debt. Alright, so let me add up my new income total for the month. Alright, so that's $4,031.21 is my new paycheck budget because of the investment maturity. And with this right here, I didn't include the interest. The interest that I've earned off the treasury note, I do have it in my interest and dividends that I've earned for the month, but I didn't add that to this. Alright, so that's my new total there for my income. And so, like I said, since I do have that, I want to go ahead and pay off some debt. So I did pay off $3,200 out of that amount for that. So I'm going to add that here at the bottom. So I'm just going to say debt and add that 3,200 there. Alright. Now that I've updated that, I can add the total here for my paycheck budget total, summary totals at the bottom. Alright, so I got that updated, but then I did end up having to purchase a few things, and then I did pay my tithes and stuff like that, so I do want to update this in my budget. Alright, so I got my tithes for $50. I did end up placing a cloth and paper order. And then I ended up getting the baddies sub box, and then I had to end up purchasing a desk. So my computer desk broke. It fell down on Saturday, and I'm just grateful because I had my granddaughter that day, and she loves to play her blocks on my computer desk, and I saw it tilting, and before it actually collapsed, I was able to get my desktop off the computer, and then while she was eating her lunch, that's when it fell. So I'm just glad it didn't fall on her. So I had to get a new desk. So let me add these totals. So cloth and paper when I got my Black Friday sale was $131.14. I got the Betty's advent box of $370.99. And then my desk that I purchased is $62.34. And I'll be glad when that come in. So right now I'm just using my laptop. Alright, so the total here says $614.47. But just let's make sure, because my formula could be wrong in the spreadsheet. So let's double check that. Hold up, let me start over. Oops. I keep messing up. Alright, so and this will be my first time purchasing anything from Baddies. So that says 604.47. That doesn't reconcile to the spreadsheet, so let me start over. But yeah, this is my first time purchasing from Baddies. It was Baddies and Budget and Baddies. And I saw that the advent box has a black minimalist theme, and I was like, oh, I want that. Alright, so it does reconcile to the 614.47. And then I had made a post. Let me go ahead and add the total here for my variables expenses. Alright, and let me mark out these old amounts. I had made a post. Oh, let me add my savings because I did save $30 during this month, and I did have to adjust my Pink Friday because it was 12 and I had wrote down $13. I made a post on my community wall asking about the advent box, and I did get a few replies. And then I had asked Brittany because I remember seeing Brittany. All right, so that leaves my remaining balance of $186.74. And she was telling me it was a great experience when she got it. And I did end up winning one of the items from the box. So she did a giveaway for the items that she didn't use. And I'm thinking about doing the same thing. Alright, so that's taken care of, and my summary totals does reconcile to what I have here. So that's close out that paycheck budget, my last paycheck budget. So I need to add the $30 that I saved here on my monthly here. Alright, and now I need to add my spending here. The cloth and paper when they had to sell on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. And also the advent box and my desk. I need to add those spending amounts here. Alright. But yeah, so I was going back and forth whether or not I should get it. And I was just curious because it's black. And I am not a pink girly. I'm not saying I don't like pink, but I like the black minimalist aesthetic. And I was just curious and wanted to try it out. So I made my very first purchase, and I want to thank Brittany, Jennifer, and then there was another young lady commented. I think her handle said Mrs. I'm sorry, I'm sorry I'm screwing up your name, but thank you all for your feedback on the Betty's advent box. So I'm excited, and I got it as a birthday present to myself, and because my investment did mature, I had the funds available to purchase all the things. Alright, so that is it for updating my monthly calendar with my no spend and what I bought and what I saved. Now I need to go to my monthly budget, and we're going to walk through that and add up my actuals. Okay? Alright, so here we are. This is my monthly November here. Hopefully you're still with me. My budget was $667.41 for my income, but of course, with the additional sales that I received in Etsy and on my website and Amazon, and of course the maturity of my investments, it put me well beyond what I actually budgeted for. And if you did purchase from any of my sites, even if you downloaded any of my freebies that's on the Ko-Fi shop, I want to thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. It means the world to me that you even considered utilizing my products. I truly appreciate you. And if you find any mistakes or anything that I've created, please let me know. So it's $4,840.11 for the month of November for my income. And that 4,000 more is just because my investment, because without the investments, I would have earned $840.11, which is actually more than what I actually budgeted for. That's $667.41. Alright, so my fixed expenses, I budgeted for $420.66. So let's go ahead and add up my fixed expenses from each paycheck budget. And I see if I'm within my budget or over. Alright. Add this amount here. And then I didn't have any for my fourth paycheck. So that comes up to be $420.36. So I stayed within my budget for my fixed expenses. And it's just a variance of 30 cents. Alright, so for my variable expenses, $126.06 is what I budgeted for. And I already know it's going to be over that because I did buy some things that I did not budget for. So let's go back and get that total again. And overall, when I'm doing my budget, I'm really not concerned about the different categories, but my concern is the ending balance, that overall that I stayed on my budget. Alright, so $744.27 is my actual for variables. And I knew I would be over the budget amount. Alright, so my debt repayment, $50. That was my budget. That is always my monthly budget when it comes to my debt repayment is the 50. But I ended up adding in that $3,200 because my investment matured and I was able to pay more than normal. I'm not finished paying it off yet though. I still have some more left. Alright, so I budgeted to save $70 based on the budget that I originally had. So let's go ahead and add up how much I saved per week. And so, let's see. Let's go ahead and add this $30. Hold up, I didn't write it in here, so let me go ahead and write that $30 there. So my total savings for November is $161. And that's because I don't spend as much as I used to. And I don't have that FOMO situation like I used to neither. Alright, so let's see what my remaining balance is based on all the categories together. Alright, so that's $264.48. Okay. So that is it for my November budget. But let me double check to make sure, because sometimes I be typing in the wrong thing. And I want to make sure that I have the right amounts. Okay. Yep. I calculated right. So that is it for my November budget. And I know with closing out my November budget, some of this remaining balance, so with my remaining balance, I typically carry it forward to the next paycheck budget. So that's basically it for that. So now let's go ahead and get into December. Alright, so this is my December monthly. I've already added my stickers. I did these stickers a few weeks ago, and I'm gonna do the no spend again for the month of December too. Just in case if you're new here, my first time doing the no spend was in November in my entire life. Just tracking my spending, cause I used to shop all the time back in the day. Well, I had more income too, but being consistent with doing this, it builds those positive habits financially that you need. So I'm excited about that. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into my December budget. Alright, so I do plan on opening back up my website this month. Not sure when I'm going to open it back up, but I'm going to start off with that, and I'm going to estimate once I open it back up, hopefully I earned $100. Alright, and then for my Etsy shop, I'm going to estimate $250. And then for my mortgage income is guaranteed income, and I earn $300 a month for that. And then my annuity payment, I don't know the exact amount yet, but I'm going to estimate $50 for my annuity payment. Okay, so let's go ahead and add those amounts up so I can get what my monthly budget would be for December. So my budget for December is $700. I didn't get any sales if I remember correctly, I don't have any sales from Amazon to record for my December budget. Okay, so that's there. Now let's get to my fixed expenses. Okay, so my fixed expenses, I do have 2 electricity bills for my home and for my father's home. I used to have 2 water bills, but now I only have 1 water bill. So my electricity bill, $189.91. And then, I don't know the second bill amount. I'm gonna say $25. And my water bill is $93.70. And Moetta, I'm gonna put $5 there. Shopify, $39. It's crazy that I remember these amounts. Google, $16.80. Alright. Prime. And the Google consists of, like, if I'm paying membership or if I give a tip on YouTube. Prime is $6.99. Canva is next. That's $12.99 for Canva. And then my QuickBooks is $35. And I'm thinking about eliminating that as a monthly fee and just do QuickBooks probably like quarterly. I don't know, but let's go ahead and add these totals up. Cause I don't have sales like I used to years ago, and to be paying that monthly fee, it doesn't seem cost efficient. Alright, so my total fixed expenses for December totals $424.39. Alright, so now let's get to my variable expenses. My tabs. I want to budget for $65. And then my cloth and paper subscription is $59.32. But let me double check to make sure that's the right amount for cloth and paper. But if I remember that correctly, it's $59.32. Yep. So my variable expense total for December right now is $124.32. And my debt repayment for this month is $50. So let me know how you're doing with your budget. How was your month in November? Did you meet any target points or any goals that you established for the month of November? Alright, so let me go ahead and add my totals for my summaries for all the different categories. So I'm still looking for a job, so that's something that I didn't accomplish in the month of November, so I'm still searching and applying. In November, I did end up adjusting my resume even more, condensing it down, making some changes, and let's see if it works. So my remaining balance left over is $101.29. And I'm not sure if I want to use it all for savings and then leave some left for some expenses if something come up. I'm really not sure how I want to do that this month. So I'm going to make a notation what my remaining balance is at the moment, because I'm not sure if I want to apply it to all towards savings. So I have to really think about that. That's what I want to do. Because something might come up, like for instance, like my desk and stuff broke, and I had to end up buying a new desk. That was unexpected. And then there might be something else that come up. So that's basically it for my monthlies, closing out the month of November and doing my December budget. And I want to thank you so much for taking time out your busy schedule to join me as I walk through my budget. Hopefully you subscribe to my channel. Turn your notification bell so you know when I upload another video. Have a blessed month, bestie.